the Nephilim. You see the Nephilim, which is also associated associated with the Anunnaki. We got to talk about that, and we're gonna give it, the earthly identification, which belongs to African people. Even when you discussing the Nephilim, you're dealing with what now when they talk about the Nephilim, we know we they talking about giants, and we it's many giants in Africa. You see what I'm saying? It's many, just like we got the Twa, you got the giants, you got the 7-foot giants. But when you go into the biblical account, that all of the giants in the Bible are associated with the sons of Ham, okay, which is the African patriarch who resided in Egypt. That must be clear. That must be clear, because if you don't get that, you're gonna be confused. So even when we talk about the Titans, we also associate the Titans with Set Typhon. You see, which will bring it back to the Ethiopian, bring it back to the Nubian. Okay, when you talk about the Nephilim, also bringing it back not only Egypt, but also Cush. I mean, and in Cush too, because Nimrod was also called the giant hunter in the Septuagint. They don't tell y'all that, but he was also referred to as the giant hunter. Okay, in the Septuagint, all you had to do is look it up. Now let's black this up. We can't just talk. We can't just talk now. We just can't talk. We got to black this up. Let me see if I can get it in here. Which one? Bingo. Take that one out. Okay, I think this is it right. I think this is it right. Okay. Let me see how that look up there. Okay. That one decent. It's decent. That one decent. Let me see how this one rock. Okay. Let me see how that one rock. It's pretty good. Okay. It's pretty good. It'll get the job done. It'll get the job done. Let me see if it's clear. Nah, when you're dealing with harm, you're dealing with calm. Okay, we didn't already acknowledge that you're dealing with calm. You're dealing with Egypt. Matter of fact, okay. Matter of fact, let's deal with that. Land of Ham in the Bible. Let's look that up. Okay, let's get right on so we can clarify some shit. Egypt is called the land of Ham. Okay, the land of Ham, which is Kam, which is Kim. Okay, which is Kem, which is black. And so we have to understand that when we make that clarification, and we must remember these things. So when we read language into the future, man, we are redefining language. You feel what I'm saying? We are redefining what we are reading and identifying the truth of the matter. We can't just go in and just read shit and let them because they don't know. And most of them don't know. And the ones that do, they hide that fact. And most of them still ain't gonna be on the level where I'm at. But they know that we are breaking the codes and shit and this, that, and the third. So they are not gonna be, happy with, you redefining the book and unlocking the truth of your divinity in that book. Okay, just know that. So Egypt is called the land of Ham. And so again, so now once we say Ham, I've shown y'all 1,001 times what Ham means black. Okay, they can try to change the fact now, but it don't make no motherfucking difference. It didn't already been exposed. Okay, now we can talk about also the giants of Ham in the Bible. Okay, in the Bible. Okay, the term giants of Ham. Okay, yes, it is. You don't know that's showing. I'm showing you what the motherfucker. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. The giants of Ham is not a direct biblical phrase, but it's likely for he don't know. I can go in there. That just show you AI don't even. I'm fucking the AI up. I'm fucking up the algorithm. Do you understand? Fucking that shit up. The term giants of Ham is not. I can go in there and then put the shit right on in. Okay, that just let the Nephilim, the Anakim, and the Rephaim. Okay, all of them reside amongst the African people. But see right here, I'm gonna show you where the AI is lying like a motherfucker. Let me watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. I'm gonna get this. Let me get this shit in. What does it say? I want the goddamn verse. And also that other one down there, Zazu meme. Okay. Let me get that goddamn verse. Let me get that one too. Let me see if that one gonna lead me to the verse. There it go right there. There it go right there. Motherfucking AI don't even know what the fuck it's talking about. I want to see the motherfucking verse, man. Y'all motherfuckers. Cause they like they won't take the shit out since I've been talking about the shit. Let me see if this. Okay. Call them Zazumi. Okay, let me get this shit in here because I want to make this shit work. I ain't got time. Let me see if I can get it in here. Let me see if that's the particular way to spell it. Okay, where the fuck is it? Okay, it's like they like this nigga on this nigga up here exposing to off the internet. This nigga revealing who the Anunnakis is, who the Nephilim is. Plays okay. Okay, it's the Zaz. There it is right here. Okay, I got it. Okay, but that's the motherfucking and here it is, Zuzine. Okay, this it right here. Okay, but that should have brought it up. Okay, here we go. In some reform, what does Zazu mean? So here it is right here. So this particular tribe, which was giants, all of them resided in Ham, which is Egypt. When they say that they resided in Ham, they're saying that they resided in Egypt. You see, and you can see right there, likely in the region later inhabited by the Ammonites. You see, by the Ammonites. So you can see even Ammon, you see, is heavily intertwined. Not even though is using mythology, is speaking to a reality. Okay, that these people did exist, and even if the names are some esoterical created names, it's still speaking to a reality that the giants were in the land, and they committed genocide on them. Okay, they committed genocide on these people, and so these are the Zuzim were giants. Okay, they was also giants along with the Anakim, the Philistine. The Philistines was from Egypt. Okay, you see right there, the Zuzim are described as a strong or powerful people, possibly giants. Okay, possibly giants. So again, and so and then the Zam is also Ham. So you can see that they're using the Z instead of the H or the K. So that's also interchangeable. So the Zam is Ham, which also symbolic of black. Okay. So let's get back to this biblical timeline, because genealogy, you see Ham and then you see Mizraim. Now, when you listen to these giants, and when you look at that's the suffix of im, you see im. When you see Mizraim, which is the term that they use for Egypt in the Bible, that im is a suffix only used by giants and angels. Okay, know that. You don't find nobody else with that name, that suffix, Mizraim. So just like the seraphim or the cherubim, that im is only for giants and angels. And God, Elohim, which is also Ham, Elohim, okay, black, angels, giants, okay. And if you come down, you see one of his sons is Kozluhim. You see the him, Kozluhim. You can look it up, even though which is Ham, Kozluham, okay. And you can see from that lineage of Egypt, you see the Philistine. Okay, so Goliath was through the bloodline of ancient Egypt, but you niggas rooted for David. But you should have rooted for Goliath. So I'm showing and proving to you that the Philistine, who was giants, who were also associated with the Nephilim, come out of Egypt. Then you see one of his other, you see Anahim, but you got the Anakim. So I see that they trying to make a derivative of that. And you can see how the Anakim is Anu. Okay, Anu, Anakim, Anu King, or Anahim. You see, that's Anu, showing you that that the people, they come out of Egypt. There's no mistake in that. I'm showing you the lineage. Go behind me and do the goddamn research. So so you see it even down here, Captarim, or and so anytime you use that im, which is also him, H-I-M, or I-M, sometimes they'll drop the H. It's still the same thing. That suffix is speaking to blackness, to let you know that they were black, giants. They wasn't no other kind of giant. And the Anahim and the Anakim is where you get Anu, because when you go in there, you will see that the father of the Anakim was Anak. And I just showed you the Anuak. You see, when you see Anak, A-N-A-K, then I just showed you in Ethiopia the Anuak. You see, all you have to do is put the U in there. You see, all you A-N-U-A-K. So Anak was the father of the Anakim, okay? And their forefather was Abra, A-R-B-A. You see, now understanding this is all esoterical. You ain't got to take it, but within that, they're showing a fact. Mythology is not always the characters may not necessarily be real, but the gem up under there is real. See, so understand they're speaking to a people that come up out of ancient Africa that were looked at as sons of God. Okay, they was looked at as sons of God, and in Sumeria, these same giants and the Anu people that the Twa that came up out of Africa were referred to as the Anunnaki. You see, because they wore the serpent on or the diamond, which is what sits on the forehead, on the crown of the kings. You see the king cobra or the queen cobra sitting on the pineal gland. Anuak, okay? The Anak, Anunnaki. Then the Nak is symbolic of what? Serpent. It's symbolic of dragon. Nak is also Naga or Naja. Okay, it can be spelled Naga. It can be spelled Naja, but that's Nak, and that speaks to dragon. You feel what I'm saying? So we showing and proving that all the giants in the Bible, again, Goliath and all of them was of African descent. And so again, you rooted for David when he hit goddamn the Goliath in the head with a rock. You niggas was cheered for David, but you should have cheered for the Goliath to pick David up by a goddamn neck and slang his ass halfway to India some damn where. You see what I'm saying? That's what you should have. That's what you should have rooted for, to happen. Now let me see if I can get in here. Let me see. Now another thing when you talking about that, you see Beth Lee in the hymn. You see the Bethlehem, but it's also Ham. And another thing, let me break it down for you, cause let me see, let me put Ham in there. That might break the algorithm. You see, they can't take that, but it's like this motherfucker put Ham in there. It's Bethlehem. And when you understand, Beth is house, Lee is of, and Ham meaning black. And so when they talk about Bethlehem, house of the blacks, that's exactly what it means. It means house of the black. Let me see what now they're gonna tell you it means some goddamn bread. And gonna talk about some goddamn bread. No goddamn bread. Nobody gonna name no goddamn after no damn bread. House of bread or house of food. No, yeah, it's the house of black. Him is Ham. The A, it can be spelled H-I-M. It could be spelled H-A-M. It could be spelled H-E-M, H-A-M, H-E-M, and H-I-M. Let me show you. Ibrahim. Okay, you got Ibrahim. See how they spell Ibrahim? Let me see if I can get it in there. Let me show you. Abraham. Okay, you see Abraham, they spell it A-B-R-A-H-A-M. And then see what I'm saying here? See how that shit work? I don't play no motherfucking games. I'll black it up. See how they spell it? In Arabic, they spell it Ibrahim. You see the H-I-M and you see the H-A-M. You see, you got to know this shit. Yeah, your motherfuckers they ain't gonna lie to me. I know I got their ass. So the A and the I is in, and the E is also interchangeable. So Bethlehem is also Bethlehem. They're gonna tell you it's about some goddamn bread. But that's actually speaking to the house of black. So when you see the heme there, and then you come back and you look at the bloodline of Egypt, you see Kazlahim and the Eem, they just dropped in. Then you got one up there, Naphtuhim too. But all of the Eem speak to divinity. Either they were giants or they were angels. Okay, they was either giants or they were angels when you speak to the Eem or the Heme. Okay, so understand that. But where we at on the we already there. But anyway, I'm gonna go into this deep because I'm just starting to use the internet and I just need to get some better some websites and shit that's gonna speak everything that we need to know and bring them up. You can see right here, actually, you can see right there where it's so small, it says Philistine, because this dealing with Ham. Anything down here say Philistine migrated from Egypt. Did you hear what it said? This the biblical encyclopedia. The Philistine were the giants, you understand, that occupied parts of Canaan. So you had Egyptians that were giants, you had Canaanites that were giants, and you had Cushites that were giants. You had Sabaeans that were giants, and Nimrod was a giant. So many of these African kings and queens in the Bible were giants. Okay, they was looking, and you didn't see that because the Israelites, they were small. When they went into the land, they said they was like grasshoppers to these damn people. You see what I'm saying? They was like goddamn grasshoppers to them. This is your Anunnaki. This is the Nephilim, the children of Ham. These are your Anunnaki. These is later became the Titans. You see, in all these other mythological stories, this is who that became. Okay, all one and the same, but in various mythologies, they were called something different. Okay, they was called something different, and so we'll get back. We'll get back on this. We'll get back on this tomorrow. I know I know I'm late. It's the sign. That's right. Where did the Paleo Hebrew come from? Okay, I was okay. Come from G. But there is no Hebrew. The language is the language of the Canaanites. See, so that's where it comes from. And the Canaanite come out of the Egyptian, Hieratic, Demotic. I can show you this now. I'm gonna show you this. So you'll read it. There's nowhere in the Bible where it is called Hebrew. The language of Canaan. And you can look it up so you know in the Bible. And I'll show you that. That's Isaiah. That's Isaiah 19. They always got some crazy shit. I'm gonna put it in. They always trying to they always trying to create some fake shit to put, you know what I'm saying? I'll be laughing. Like y'all be coming up with any goddamn thing. And they didn't even have a fucking alphabet to write nothing with. I think this is it right here. I'll put this one in and this will be the last. Okay, so you see, let me get it up here. You see the language of Canaan refers to the group of closely related Semitic languages spoken in Levant, of which Biblical Hebrew is a dialect. The Bible itself calls the language of Canaan in Isaiah 19:18. Okay, it was never called Hebrew in the Bible. That's all the fake motherfuckers that that stole from up out of Canaan. They stole the language, stole the culture, stole the cities, and every goddamn thing else. So in Isaiah 19:18, and I'll put it in there, let me see if it'll come up if I just click it. It should just come up. That's right. It's in Isaiah. I don't want you to, I just want to see it. Okay, here you go. I just want King James right there said, now this is Isaiah 19:18. It says, in that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan and swear to the Lord of hosts, one shall be called the city of destruction. So now when you look at me see if I can show you how they develop, and then you could go from there. You feel what I'm saying? Just give you a little. Look at this shit. It says are unrelated. They sound stupid as fuck. They sound stupid as fuck. Now you go right here. You go right here, you'll see it. They show you right there the Egyptian, from the hieroglyph. Then you see the hieratic. You see the hieratic, and they'll show you the Phoenician, the Canaanite, where they got their shit from the Egyptians. They got their shit from the Egyptians. The Greek got its. The Greek is an African alphabet. You see what I'm saying? The hieratic, the Demotic, the Egyptians took one of their alphabets, which was the Demotic, and used it to create the Phoenician and the Greek. That's where the Phoenician and the Greek come out of the Demotic, which was basically the trading alphabet, which they used for trading, and they used it as their primary language. And you can see that the Roman got his from the Greek and so on and so forth. You see the Hebrew down here. So this is showing you the lineage of that. They can't get away from that, man. And you just come on and they just tell you that there's no relationship. How the fuck is there ain't no relationship? And they gave them a goddamn alphabet to write their shit down with. That don't make no goddamn. When you look up Biblos, and what does it mean? Meaning. Let's see what it means. Here you go, right here. Meaning. It just went past me. Meaning. Byblos, which is a city in Phoenicia. Okay. Byblos can refer to the city of okay. Also, Greek word Byblos, which meant papyrus. So I mean, make that make sense, man. Byblos, Bible, actually means papyrus, which was the first Bibles. You see, so they got their writing, they got their language, they got all of that up out of ancient Egypt. Let's stop playing. Here it is. So when you talk about Hebrew, there's no Hebrew in reality. They took the language from the Phoenicians who got there from, which they brothers anyway, but they got that language from the Egyptians. That's where they got it from. All right, family, let me get on up out of here. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. That's right. That's right. Again, you right in exact, family. All right, I'll talk with y'all tomorrow, man. I'll see y'all. Make sure y'all get over there to Patreon. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily liberation through African education and confrontation. The videos that y'all see on the menu, we gonna do them first thing. I got all type of marker in my hand. I'm writing shit. They say this nigga said he got some type of goddamn demonic shit in his hand. I had a motherfucking marker. I got to find the top to that motherfucker. Anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Black Power.